If you've ever strolled a marina in the Med or crossed an ocean on a trade wind passage, chances are you've seen more than a few French sailboats leading the way. There's a reason for that. Actually, a lot of reasons. France isn't just good at building sailboats, they're arguably the best in the world at it. Bold statement? Sure, but hear me out. The French sailing culture runs deep. We're talking about a country that celebrates solo circumnavigators like rock stars, packs thousands of spectators on the cliffs of Les Sables d'Olonne for the Vendée Globe start, and builds boats not just for the showroom, but for the sea. Real sea. Big, salty, foamy sea. They don't just make pretty yachts, they make sailing machines boats that balance comfort and performance, adventure and elegance. From the rugged aluminum cruisers that take on the Arctic Circle, to the catamarans that lap the Caribbean in luxury, to the lean racers that blast across the Atlantic, French builders are at the top of their game. And it's not just one brand, it's a whole ecosystem: Beneteau, Amel, Outremer, Jeanneau, Lagoon, Allures, Fountaine, Pajot, Dufour, Pogo, RM, each with their own flavor, their own mission, their own tribe. Whether you're a salty single-hander or a family looking to cruise in comfort, there's a French-built sailboat out there that feels like it was made just for you. So, with that in mind, here's my personal roundup of the top 10 best sailboats built in France. Boats that aren't just floating homes, but serious passage makers, performance cruisers, and adventure machines. If you've ever chartered a boat in the Med or Caribbean, odds are high you've stepped aboard a Beneteau. And among their lineup, the Beneteau Oceanis 46.1 is a standout. It's not just a pretty hull with a big name behind it. This is a serious cruising boat that hits that sweet spot. Easy enough for a couple to handle, roomy enough for a family, and capable enough to cross oceans if you set it up right now. What makes the Oceanis 46.1 special? First off, the space. This boat feels big. I mean, really big. It's got that wide transom and a hard chine that runs all the way aft, which gives it stability under sail and room inside without sacrificing performance. It's got multiple layout options too. 3, 4, even 5 cabins, so it works whether you're sailing with kids, friends, or running it as a charter underway. It's surprisingly nimble. You can sail it single-handed thanks to the twin wheels, well-placed winches, and in-mast furling. If you go that route, the chine helps keep it on its feet, and even in a stiff breeze it holds course nicely without fighting the helm. It's not a race boat by any stretch, but it'll move when you want it to. Down below, it's all about comfort and natural light. Large hull windows and overhead hatches make it feel bright and open, and the layout is practical. You've got good handholds, a usable galley, and a nav station that doesn't feel like an afterthought. The master cabin forward is almost absurdly big for a boat this size. It's also one of the best boats out there for value. You get a modern design, solid build, and loads of customization options at a price that doesn't make your eyes water. That's part of why this model has been so popular with new owners and longtime sailors alike. So, if you're looking for a French-built cruiser that's got the chops for both weekends and world cruising, something that's forgiving, spacious, and a joy to sail, the Beneteau Oceanis 46.1 deserves a serious look. When you step aboard an Amel 50, you know right away this boat was built with serious passage-making in mind. Everything about it whispers, no, speaks confidently, about long-distance comfort, safety, and thoughtful design. And that's no accident. Amel has a reputation that's been decades in the making, and the Amel 50 carries that torch into the modern era beautifully. Let's talk design first. This isn't your average marina queen. It's got a slightly edgy look with its reverse bow and sleek deckhouse, but under that stylish exterior lies a deeply practical layout. The rig is a sloop rather than the traditional ketch setup Amel was famous for, which might ruffle a few old-school feathers, but it's a smart evolution, easier to handle, especially with electric winches and in-mast furling as standard, and it simplifies things for short-handed crews. One of the most distinctive things about the Amel 50 is the center cockpit. Not only is it secure and dry in a blow, but it creates a separation between living and working spaces that really shines when you're on passage. You're not stepping around lines and winches every time you head below, and once you are below, well, it's luxury with a sailor's soul. The interiors feel more like a boutique apartment than a typical yacht. Rich wood, excellent lighting, real thought given to storage, ventilation, and soundproofing. The owner's suite aft is isolated and quiet, with a proper walk-around bed and a large head with separate shower. Forward cabins are generous too. This boat is designed to live aboard comfortably, not just survive the crossing. Underway, it's rock solid. The boat is built to be forgiving and stable, not flashy or lightweight. You've got weight where it matters, a deep keel, and systems that are overbuilt rather than underthought. It tracks well, moves smoothly through the water, and gives you that deep sense of confidence that only certain boats manage to convey. The Amel 50 isn't about bragging rights. It's about crossing oceans in comfort and feeling good doing it. If you're dreaming about a circumnavigation or just want a boat that feels like a floating fortress with a touch of class, this one's got your name on it. If sailing fast, light, and far is your idea of heaven, then the Outremer 51 is the kind of boat that'll keep you up at night dreaming. This isn't your average cruising catamaran. The Outremer 51 is built for sailors who want to actually sail, not just float comfortably from anchorage to anchorage. Outremer's whole philosophy is rooted in performance without sacrificing real-world livability. The 51 is a prime example. It's lean, it's efficient, and it's built light but tough. And, unlike some of the beamy condo-style cats out there, this one slices through the water like it means business. We're talking double-digit speeds and moderate breeze, a real helm feel, and the ability to outrun weather, not just hide from it. But performance isn't the whole story here. The Outremer 51 is also designed to be lived on long-term. Step inside and you'll find a surprisingly spacious interior that's both modern and practical. The galley is up, with panoramic views that make cooking at sea actually enjoyable, and the saloon has a comfy vibe without feeling overstuffed. The materials used are light and durable, chosen with offshore life in mind. Easy to clean, easy to repair, and designed to last. One of the most thoughtful features is the visibility and layout from the helm. You can steer from inside with a view of all sails and surroundings, which is a game changer for those long night passages or squally afternoons. The dagger boards give you performance upwind, but they're also easy to manage. And because this boat is so light, you don't need huge engines to get moving when the wind dies. It motors along happily without guzzling fuel. This is the boat that shows up on the short list of pretty much every serious Bluewater couple or family that wants to go fast, live well, and sail far. You see them in the Pacific, in the South Atlantic, parked behind coral reefs and on the hard, in Panama, always with that unmistakable look of a boat that's not just surviving the voyage, but loving it. If you want a catamaran that sails like a monohull, lives like a home, and outruns squalls for breakfast, the Outremer 51 is about as good as it gets. Fast, capable, and French to the core. The Jeanneau Sun Odyssey 440 is one of those boats that quietly changes the game. At first glance, it looks like your typical modern cruiser. Plumb bow, hard chines, twin wheels. But once you step aboard, especially from the dock, you realize something's different. That's because this is one of the first monohulls to introduce a truly walk-around deck. No more stepping over high coamings or climbing around rigging. Just a smooth, level movement from the helm all the way to the foredeck. It's simple, it's smart, and once you've used it, going back to a traditional layout feels downright clunky. But that's just the start. The Sun Odyssey 440 is designed for real-world cruising. It's not a stripped-down racer or an overloaded charter barge. It's built for couples or families who want to cruise in comfort, handle the boat without a full crew, and enjoy time under sail without fuss. Underway, it's balanced and easy to handle. Twin rudders give you excellent control, even when heeled over. The sail plan is modern. Plenty of power in light air, and it doesn't punish you when the breeze picks up. You've got options for in-mast furling, traditional slab reefing, or even a self-tacking jib setup if you're into keeping things simple. Everything leads aft, so you can manage the sails from the cockpit without ever needing to go forward in a blow. Inside, Jeanneau has done a great job balancing comfort and practicality. The saloon is open and airy, with plenty of natural light thanks to large hull windows and skylights. The galley is L-shaped and well-equipped, with decent stowage and enough counter space to actually cook while underway. And they've avoided the trap of over-modernizing. This isn't a showpiece apartment, it's a functional cruising interior. Cabin layouts are flexible. You can go with 2 or 3 cabins depending on how many people you sail with. The forward owner's cabin is spacious and has a real double berth. No climbing in sideways like you find on older designs. There's also good storage throughout, which is often where modern cruisers cut corners. What makes the Jeanneau Sun Odyssey 440 such a winner, though, is the overall package. It's fast enough to be fun, easy enough to sail solo, and comfortable enough to live aboard for extended trips, and it's built by a company with serious infrastructure and global support, which matters more than people realize, especially when you're cruising far from home. This boat is for sailors who want innovation without gimmicks, comfort without excess, and performance without stress. It's French design thinking at its best, practical, stylish, and just the right amount of clever. The Allures 45.9 isn't a boat you'll find bobbing in charter fleets or tied up in trendy marinas. It's the one parked quietly at anchor in places like Patagonia or Greenland, rigged to survive the sort of conditions that chase most cruisers back to port. This is a go. Anywhere, do anything Bluewater cruiser built for sailors who don't just dream about far horizons, they actually go there. First, let's talk construction. This boat is built with a full aluminum hull, tough as nails, built to take the hits from ice, coral, or floating debris. That makes it perfect for high-latitude sailing, but just as useful in the tropics, where uncharted reefs and unexpected bumps are part of life. The deck and coach roof are fiberglass, which saves weight and adds insulation. It's a smart hybrid construction that gives you strength where you need it and comfort where it matters. The Allures 45.9 also features a centerboard, a big one, which gives it a variable draft. With the board down, you get solid upwind performance and great tracking. Pull it up, and suddenly you're drawing under 4 feet, ready to sneak into shallow anchorages that full-keel boats can only dream about. It opens up a world of cruising grounds, especially if you love exploring off the beaten path. The layout below deck is built with liveaboards in mind. You've got a proper nav station, real sea berths, and loads of storage for provisions, tools, and spares. The saloon is functional, not flashy, built to keep you comfortable and safe in rough conditions. Galley is U-shaped and secure for cooking underway, and the owner's cabin forward offers privacy and space without compromising the boat's structural integrity. But where the Allures 45.9 really shines is in the systems. This boat is designed to be self-sufficient. Large tankage, a dedicated space for a genset or water maker, big battery banks, solar options, all the stuff that turns a boat from a vacation toy into a real home on the water. Everything is accessible, everything is logical, and everything is built with offshore sailing in mind. Sailing-wise, it's no slouch. The boat moves well in the light air and stays comfortable when the weather turns foul. It's not built for racing, but it's no slug either. And thanks to its balance and weight distribution, it has that rare quality. It makes you feel safe, like it's got your back when things get gnarly. If you're serious about extended cruising, like really serious, the Allures 45.9 is the kind of boat that doesn't just enable the dream. It expands it. The Lagoon 46 is a catamaran that strikes a sweet balance between comfort, space, and easy handling, something Lagoon's been refining for years. This boat is a popular choice for cruisers who want to live aboard, sail with family or friends, or even run a charter, and it's easy to see why it's like a floating condo, but one that can actually get you across oceans. From the dock, the first thing you notice is how much space there is. Wide transoms, a huge cockpit, and loads of lounging areas. Once you're aboard, that sense of volume just grows. You've got seating up front in the bow area, a spacious flybridge up top with dual helms, and the main cockpit that's fully shaded and ready for big dinners or lazy afternoons. The Lagoon 46 is all about lifestyle. The saloon is massive, open, and drenched in natural light. The galley up layout keeps you connected with everything going on around you. There's decent storage for long-term cruising, and the finish is clean, modern, and easy to maintain. Below, each hull can be configured for 2 or 3 cabins, all with ensuite heads, making it ideal for private ownership or charter use. Now, this isn't a performance catamaran, and that's not the point. It's built for comfort and simplicity, not breaking speed records. But that doesn't mean it's a slug in decent wind. It'll make steady, respectable speeds, and it's surprisingly nimble for its size, thanks to a well-balanced rig and twin engines. Most of the lines are led to the flybridge helm, making it possible for one person to manage everything, though docking can still be tricky in a crosswind due to its windage. One thing that really works on the Lagoon 46 is the separation of spaces. The helm station up top is great underway, but when you're anchored, it becomes another living area. Meanwhile, the forward cockpit gives you a quiet spot to read or sip a sundowner without being in the middle of the social space. If your sailing dream leans more toward island hopping, comfortable passages, and life at anchor rather than performance sailing, the Lagoon 46 is an incredibly appealing choice. It's not for purists, but for many cruisers, it hits just the right note between comfort and capability. The Dufour 41 is one of those modern cruisers that sneaks up on you. At first glance, it seems like a sleek, good-looking production boat, but the more time you spend aboard, the more you realize how clever and capable it really is. It's a fresh take on the performance cruiser, blending comfort, sharp sailing manners, and some really thoughtful design touches. Right away, you notice the deck layout. It's clean, spacious, and easy to move around, which is always welcome whether you're docking solo or crossing the foredeck at night. The cockpit is huge for a boat this size, with a full-width drop-down swim platform and twin helm stations that offer great visibility. There's also room for a proper outdoor galley setup at the stern. Think grill, sink, and even a fridge, perfect for entertaining at anchor. Under sail, the Dufour 41 really shines. It's responsive and well-balanced, with a modern hull form that carries its beam aft, providing both stability and interior volume. The twin rudders offer precise control even when heeled over, and the sail plan is generous without being overwhelming. You can cruise easily with a small crew, but it's also lively enough to keep experienced sailors engaged. Below deck, it's surprisingly spacious and well-appointed. The saloon has a warm, inviting feel with large windows and good ventilation. The galley is set to port and works well underway, plenty of storage and counter space, plus all the essentials laid out where you need them. The owner's cabin forward has an island berth and ample storage, while the aft cabins are roomy enough for guests or kids. You can choose between 2 or 3 cabin layouts depending on your needs. What makes the Dufour 41 special is how it balances lifestyle and performance. You get that comfortable, contemporary interior that looks great and lives well, but you also get a boat that actually sails. A rare thing in today's comfort-first world. It's not just about the marina or the anchorage. It's about the joy of being under sail. For sailors who want a boat that looks sharp, handles beautifully, and is just as happy doing weekend hops as it is on longer coastal cruises, the Dufour 41 is a strong contender. The Pogo 12.50 and Pogo 44 are two sides of the same thrilling coin, performance cruisers that don't compromise on speed or adventure. Built by Pogo Structures in Brittany, these boats have serious offshore DNA. They come from the same line of French sailboats that have tackled transatlantic races and solo circumnavigations, but they're designed for cruising sailors who still want to feel the rush. Let's start with what sets them apart: lightweight, planing hulls. These are not your typical heavy displacement cruisers. They're built with vacuum-infused sandwich construction, designed to be light, stiff, and responsive. The result? You get up on a plane in 12 to 15 knots of wind and surf your way across oceans at speeds that would leave most cruising boats far behind. The Pogo 12.50 is slightly more compact and easier to manage for a couple or solo sailor, while the Pogo 44 gives you more room and tankage for extended offshore cruising. Both feature twin rudders, a beamy aft section, and lifting keels, meaning you get excellent upwind performance when the keel's down and can sneak into shallow anchorages when it's up. That versatility opens up a lot of ground, or water, for exploration. Inside, they're minimalist but functional. This isn't a luxury condo, it's a sailor's boat. Think bright white walls, simple wood trim, and lightweight materials everywhere. It's designed to be easy to maintain, quick to clean, and practical at sea. The galley is straightforward and functional, with plenty of room to brace yourself underway. The cabins are comfortable and well ventilated, and there's a real nav station, something many modern boats skip, but make no mistake, these boats are built to go far. They come ready to sail around the world with robust gear, huge sail lockers, and the kind of engineering that gives you confidence in rough weather. And the best part? They're an absolute blast to sail. Every puff of wind becomes an invitation to play. You're not just cruising, you're ripping. If you're the kind of sailor who dreams of covering serious miles, grinning ear to ear on a reach, and anchoring in places others can't get to, a Pogo 12.50 or Pogo 44 might just be your perfect match. The Fountaine Pajot Aura 51 is a catamaran that's unapologetically luxurious, but don't let the sleek lines and chic interior fool you. This boat is made for serious sailing, long-term live-aboard comfort, and Bluewater passages. It's one of the most compelling big cruising cats on the market right now, especially if you're dreaming of palm-fringed anchorages and long lazy legs across the trades. Let's start with the layout, because that's what hits you first. This thing is huge. The beam stretches over 26 feet, which means you're basically stepping onto a floating terrace. The aft cockpit blends seamlessly with the saloon thanks to sliding glass doors, creating one massive living space that flows beautifully from inside to out. There's seating for a crowd, a proper dining area, a lounging area, and a fully functional flybridge that turns into a second social zone or a prime helm station. What's clever is that Fountaine Pajot didn't just make it big, they made it smart. The flybridge isn't just for lounging. It's where the sailing happens. All the lines run up there, making the boat easy to handle short-handed or with a crew. Twin helms give you visibility on both tacks, and electric winches come standard on most versions. It's designed so you can actually sail this thing with a partner, even though it looks like it would need a crew of 6. Below decks, the Aura 51 continues to impress. Depending on the layout, you can have 4, 5, or even 6 cabins, making it ideal for private ownership, large families, or charter use. The owner's version is a dream. The entire starboard hull becomes a private suite with a walk-around queen bed, desk, huge head, and loads of storage. The saloon is open and full of natural light, with a modern galley-up layout and panoramic views all around. Appliances are big enough for long-term cruising, plenty of refrigeration, stove, oven, and space to work. It feels more like a modern loft apartment than a boat. Under sail, the Aura 51 is surprisingly agile for a boat this size. You're not going to race around marks, but she'll tick off miles efficiently and comfortably. The rig is simple but effective, and she sails well in light breeze, especially if you add a Code Zero or Jeanneau. Twin engines push her easily in calms, and solar panels are integrated cleanly into the hardtop, boosting energy independence. This boat isn't for the hardcore purist, it's for the sailor who wants comfort, range, and a real home on the water, without giving up the ability to sail well and far. The Fountaine Pajot Aura 51 offers all of that, and it does it in style. The 1,180 ringgit is the kind of sailboat that turns heads in the anchorage, not just because of how it looks, but because of what it represents. It's bold, fast, different, and unapologetically French. Built by RM Yachts in La Rochelle, this is a performance cruiser with a plywood epoxy hull that sails like a rocket and feels like no other boat in its class. Now, if you're not familiar with RM's build philosophy, it might surprise you. While many builders are pushing ever more fiberglass or composites, RM doubles down on marine plywood laminated with epoxy. Why? Because it's light, stiff, incredibly strong, and offers excellent insulation. It also gives the boat a certain warmth and feel that's hard to find in molded interiors. And thanks to vacuum lamination, it's built to modern standards. Don't let the word plywood fool you into thinking it's old school. The RM 1180 is striking from the outside reverse bow, low coach roof, open transom. It looks fast even when it's tied to the dock. The hard chains and twin rudders offer excellent control under heel, and the boat just loves to sail. In a breeze, you're easily clocking high single-digit or even low double-digit speeds, and in light air, the hull shape keeps you moving long after heavier cruisers have stalled out. Sailing this boat is a joy. Everything is led aft to the cockpit, which is spacious and functional. The twin wheels offer great visibility and balance, and the hull responds to every puff like a dinghy. You can opt for a fin keel or twin keels with a ballast stub, great for drying out in tidal zones or getting into shallows. Either way, the boat stays stiff and fast upwind. Below deck, it's got a very contemporary feel. Clean lines, lots of light, and a mix of raw wood and painted finishes that give it a modern, almost Scandinavian vibe. It's not luxury in the marble and leather sense, it's more functional, more honest. And that's what makes it special. You've got a proper nav station, a workable galley, and cabins that are bright and airy. The RM 1180 is perfect for sailors who want to go fast, cruise hard, and look good doing it. It's a breath of fresh air in a world of cookie-cutter cruisers, bold, functional, fast. It's everything a modern performance cruiser should be, and then some. So there you have it, 10 of the best sailboats built in France, each with its own soul, purpose, and style. Whether you're dreaming of gliding through the Med, crossing an ocean, or dropping anchor in some forgotten cove, there's a boat on this list that can take you there. What really stands out with French boat building isn't just the variety, it's the vision. These boats aren't designed by committees to sit pretty in a marina. They're shaped by a culture that embraces sailing as a way of life. From the rock-solid Bluewater cruisers to the adrenaline-charged performance hulls and the floating homes that make life at sea feel luxurious, France builds boats for people who actually sail, and it shows. Every model we've looked at, whether it's the muscle of the Outremer 51, the rugged spirit of the Allures 45.9, or the clever comfort of the Jeanneau Sun Odyssey 440, carries that unmistakable beautiful French blend of bold design, practical thinking, and a little flair for good living. So if you're hunting for your next boat, or just letting your mind drift to the next horizon, maybe it's time to look across the Atlantic to the boatyards of La Rochelle, Les Sables, and Brittany, where some of the finest sailing dreams are being built.